Several congressional Republicans are pointing the finger at Democratic control of California at the state and local level, saying there is major mismanagement across the board. Well, we just heard that from Brian Claypool, and Steve Hilton lives in California as well. Fox News contributor Steve.
Harris, let's just take what Newsom said there head on. So, first of all, what is this guy doing? When confronted with the absolute disaster about water running out in the middle of this catastrophe, waving his arms around and saying the local folks are going to figure it out. You're in charge, not some random bystander. And let's talk about his point on politicization and what he does every time. For example, there's one of these dreadful mass shootings. Before the bodies are even buried, he and all the Democrats are in there blaming Republicans, demanding policy change. So yes, it is the time to show why this natural disaster, of course disasters happen, but they are made so much worse in places that are badly run. And there is nowhere worse run than California today after more than a decade of one-party rule. Yes, the water issue, exactly as President Trump was saying. And I've been arguing, we've been putting out policy papers on how to solve this problem month after month. On the fire and forest management, that's all true. There's another aspect, Harris. We talk a lot, one of the most immediate points of crisis for people right now is this lack of insurance. We've talked about it a lot.
Yes.
That's also the result of Democrat policy. Why? Why are insurance companies pulling out of California? One, because of the elevated costs of rebuilding anything, thanks to all the regulations, the environmental regulations, the labor regulations, all of it massively increased the price and cost of building anything in California, making it so expensive. That's why they're pulling out. The second reason is artificial caps on the rates that insurance companies can charge, imposed by Democrat politicians in California. So every single aspect of this disaster, the long-term failures that made it so much worse, the short-term failures of the warning and the response and the crisis response in terms of people trying to put their lives back together, every single aspect of that has been made worse by Democrat policies, a combination of incompetence and ideological extremism. And that's why people who didn't realize it before, now right across this city and this state understand we need change in California.
Well, look, and top to bottom, I mean, if some of the focus has been on the wealthier people there, they're also paying taxes in those communities.
Yes.
And in many cases own businesses and employ so many other people. If they are stymied for any period of time, that also affects the economy locally there.
Of course. And actually, it is true both in this immediate situation, but in all the failures of policy that we've seen here in California. It is the hard-working, working-class families, those that can least afford it, who are hit the hardest. And that's going to be a massive focus. And of course, it's true that we should approach this with humanity and understand the absolute devastation in so many communities. And we need to help people right now. That's what that's why I've been talking, for example, to faith leaders about how the faith community can step up right now in offering people help right now. Of course we need to do that. But if we don't also make the point about the serious, years-long failures that have caused the suffering in an unnecessary scale, on an unnecessary level, that could have been avoided, then we are failing in our responsibility right now.
I don't know if you can see it, these brand new live pictures now showing the devastation. I have likened this to the worst of hurricanes that had rain that I have ever covered as a journalist. But this had fire with 100-mile-an-hour winds.
And Harris, can I just make a point?
I'm so glad you called for faith. I've got to let you go. We'll come right back after this break. Stay close.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.